Sex Toys, Good or Evil? Written by Gabriel Agbo. Narrated by Sasu, Yeboah. Published by TekTime. Chapter 1. How it all started. Sex toys have a long history that started with the use of carved objects that represented a penis. The ancient Roman, Greek, Chinese, Asian, Indian had these objects carved out of stones, iron, gold, wood, and other materials that were used to drive masturbation. Some of them, like the Greek, worshipped of sex gods and goddesses, where these objects were displayed, used, and other sexual immoral acts were also extensively promoted, including sex with demons and spirits. So, we can rightly say that the foundation of sex toys was that of the desire for unlimited pleasure and the worship of demonic gods. This invention metamorphosed into other objects, and in the 20th century, we saw the first electric vibrator invented. Since then, it has been a dialogue of these manual and later sophisticated instruments of sexual pleasure, some of them winking and talking. Wow. Yes, representations of the penis have been around for almost as long as there have been penises. The first known dildo recovered by paleontologists dates back to Paleolithic era, made of siltstone and polished to a high gloss. The dildos were also made of carved stone or bone. To the Greeks and Romans, they were polytheists who worshipped a variation of Dionysus, god of wine and fertility, also called Bacchus or Liber. The worship of sex god included parades through the streets where giant phalluses were raised up like protest signs. At the end of the marital fertility parade, a maiden would come forth and crown the religious phallus with a wreath of flowers. The Greeks are responsible for the first use of leather or animal intestine to cover a carved penis, adding a more natural feel and a complexity of texture. The Chinese were also considered great innovators in female masturbation. Back in the day, wealthy Chinese men were apt to have too many wives for them to service regularly. It was thought that providing penis substitutes would keep these wives faithful and prevent them from resorting to lesbianism. Ancient Chinese dildos have been discovered that were cast of bronze and other metals. Some of these were hollow and allowed liquid to be released at the appropriate time. India and Persia were not left out. Dildos are discovered as being made from gold or silver, or intricately carved and inlaid ivory. The use of dildos remained more or less the same for a long portion of history. Some cultures didn't create dildos at all, preferring more natural items like gourds, plantains, or unripe banana. In fact, the word dildo comes from the Italian diletto, meaning delight.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?